It started like any other late-night segment, but this time something was different. Jimmy Kimmel, known for his sharp jokes and celebrity interviews, suddenly found himself in a heated moment with one of the most talked-about people on the planet, Elon. Musk. No one expected things to go off the rails so fast. But when Musk sat down, what followed left the entire studio, and later the whole country, completely stunned. It was supposed to be just another celebrity guest appearance. Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, walked onto the stage with his usual confidence. The audience clapped, the music played, and the lights were bright. But under all that, something strange was brewing. There was tension in the air, like both men had something to prove. And then it happened. A sharp exchange, a moment of silence, then chaos. What came next left America speechless. It wasn't scripted, it wasn't planned, and no one, especially not the audience watching live, could believe what they were seeing. It was the kind of thing you hear about the next morning because everyone's talking about it. This clash didn't come out of nowhere. Kimmel had thrown jabs at Musk in the past, and Musk had fired back online. So when the two finally met face to face, it wasn't just a chat. It was a showdown. What happened that night wasn't just awkward. It shook the internet, sparked debates, and changed how people saw both men. Elon Musk has never really played by the rules. He's bold, often unpredictable, and doesn't hold back on what he thinks. Whether he's tweeting wild ideas at 2 a.m. or making big promises about the future of tech, he knows how to grab attention. A lot of people admire him for that, but others think he pushes things too far. His confidence can sometimes come off as arrogant, especially when he talks down to critics or jokes about serious topics. Jimmy Kimmel, on the other hand, has made a career out of making people laugh, often by calling out powerful figures. His jokes are sharp, and he doesn't shy away from poking fun at celebrities, politicians, or billionaires. For years, Kimmel has used his monologue to speak his mind. Sometimes it's lighthearted, and other times it hits a nerve. The real heat between them started when Kimmel did a monologue that went viral. He joked about one of Musk's online rants, calling it the world's richest man having a meltdown in real time. The crowd laughed, the video blew up online, and the clip was shared everywhere. But Musk didn't find it funny. Not even a little bit. Instead of letting it slide, Musk fired back on Twitter. He called Kimmel washed up and said the jokes were lazy and bitter. It didn't stop there. He even hinted that Kimmel was out of touch and jealous. The tweet went viral too, and just like that, their back and forth became something everyone was watching. Over the next few months, the tension kept growing. Kimmel made more jokes. Musk posted more tweets. Neither one backed down. What started as a joke turned into a full-blown feud. By the time Musk agreed to appear on Kimmel's show, you could tell something big was coming. When it was announced that Elon Musk would be appearing on Jimmy Kimmel Live, no one could believe it. After all the back and forth, the jabs, the tweets, and the jokes, most people thought these two wouldn't even be in the same room, let alone share a stage. But somehow, it was happening. Kimmel's team confirmed it, and Musk even tweeted about it with a simple, "Let's see if he can handle real questions." The moment the news dropped, it spread fast. Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, everyone was talking about it. People were picking sides, making memes, and guessing what would happen. Some said it would be a huge fight. Others joked that they'd probably just pretend nothing ever happened. Either way, millions were ready to watch. The build-up felt like the hours before a boxing match, funny, tense, and totally unpredictable. Inside the studio, things were electric. The audience didn't know what to expect. You could feel the buzz in the air. The set looked the same as always, but there was a different kind of energy. Everyone was waiting for Musk to walk out. Kimmel came out with his usual smile, but you could tell he knew this wasn't just another show. He made a few light jokes to ease the mood, but people weren't laughing as loud. They were waiting. Once Musk sat down, the conversation started out calm, but you could hear the edge in their voices. Musk gave short answers. Kimmel smiled a little too hard. Neither said anything rude, but it felt like both were holding something back. The jokes were stiff and there were a few awkward pauses. You could feel the tension building with each question. Then came the moment. Kimmel asked something that clearly rubbed Musk the wrong way. Musk paused, looked straight at him, and said something that changed the mood completely. It all happened so fast, people watching weren't even sure what they were seeing. 1 second, Elon Musk was sitting across from Jimmy Kimmel, and the next, the vibe had completely flipped. Kimmel leaned forward, said something off mic, and Musk stood up. It wasn't clear if he was asked to leave or if he chose to walk off, but what followed looked a lot like someone getting kicked out. A few crew members moved toward the edge of the set, and cameras cut wide like they weren't sure what to show. The audience didn't know what to do. There was a weird mix of gasps, nervous laughter, and silence. Some people clapped, maybe out of confusion or support. Others looked around, waiting for a signal that this was part of the act. But it didn't feel like a joke. The energy in the room dropped, and it was obvious this wasn't planned. Kimmel tried to play it cool. He smiled, shrugged, and made a joke about things getting a little too real, but his face said something else. He wasn't laughing the same way he usually does. You could see it in his eyes. He knew something big had just happened on his show. He tried to steer things back, but the room had already changed. As for Musk, he didn't say much. He stood up slowly, gave a short nod, and didn't look back. His face was hard to read, but his stiff shoulders and tight jaw said he was done. No outburst, no final words, just a sharp turn and exit. Then the screen cut to black and a commercial rolled. No goodbye, no wrap-up. Just an ad break thrown in so fast it felt like someone hit a panic button. The tension, the silence, it all hit harder than any punchline could. The second the show cut to commercial, the internet exploded. Clips of Elon walking off the stage started popping up everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. People didn't wait for the full story. They just started picking sides. Some praised Kimmel for standing up to Musk, while others slammed him for being disrespectful. The hashtags trying Kimmel's Musk and Elon walks out were trending within minutes. It wasn't just fans talking. Celebrities, influencers, and even random meme pages jumped into the conversation. The headlines came fast and heavy. Musk storms off Kimmel. Late night chaos. Elon ejected. Did Kimmel go too far? Every outlet had its own version of the story. Some made it sound like Musk was kicked out on purpose. Others framed it as a misunderstanding. But no matter how they spun it, one thing was clear. The moment had taken over the news cycle. People were split right down the middle. Some thought Kimmel was brave for calling out Musk on live TV. Others said he went too far and showed no respect. There were debates everywhere, from Reddit threads to group chats. Even people who don't usually care about late-night TV had an opinion. Other talk show hosts didn't stay quiet either. A few cracked jokes about it on their own shows, while others tried to stay neutral, saying things like, "We don't know the full story." One even joked that they'd be happy to have Musk on, as long as he doesn't leave mid-sentence. Then came the theories. Some people thought the whole thing was staged for attention. Others believed it was real but planned behind the scenes to make headlines. There were even rumors that it was a test to see how people would react. Nobody knew the full truth, but everyone had something to say. The day after the incident, Kimmel finally broke his silence. He didn't hold back during his monologue, making a few jokes about what had happened. He called it a wild night, but also hinted that maybe Musk wasn't as ready for the interview as he'd thought. He kept the tone light, but you could tell he was still riled up by the whole situation. Musk's response came soon after, as expected, on Twitter. His tweet was short and to the point. Some people can't handle the truth. It wasn't exactly an apology, and it wasn't an explanation either. Instead, it seemed more like a challenge, reinforcing his usual public persona. The tweet quickly gained millions of likes and retweets, further fueling the drama. Behind the scenes, both Kimmel's team and Musk's PR people were scrambling to manage the fallout. Kimmel's network put out a statement saying they were sorry for the disruption, but stood by their host's approach. Musk's team didn't comment directly, but quietly worked on steering the conversation away from the incident, hoping the attention would eventually die down. Despite all the controversy, The ratings for Kimmel's show surged. People who wouldn't normally tune in were curious about the fallout, and the next episode saw a huge spike in viewers. Kimmel capitalized on the moment, leaning into the drama, while Musk continued to tweet about unrelated issues, his silence, on the whole matter, only adding to the intrigue. Both men stuck to their positions. Kimmel didn't back down, while Musk kept up his defiant, no apologies attitude. It was clear this wasn't going to be a story that ended anytime soon. The incident between Kimmel and Musk became a symbol of the growing divide between traditional media and the tech elite. Kimmel, a late-night host with years of experience, represents old-school television, while Musk, the billionaire owner of Tesla and SpaceX, symbolizes the new wave of tech moguls. The clash seemed to highlight the tension between these two worlds, where media and entertainment often struggle to keep up with the rapid pace of technology and innovation. The public couldn't get enough of the drama. People love watching these kinds of public showdowns, especially when celebrities or big figures are involved. It felt like a spectacle, and the internet quickly latched onto it, spreading clips, memes, and debates. The drama played out not just on TV, but all over social media, where everyone had an opinion. Some critics pointed out the performative outrage surrounding the event. There were plenty of people acting like they were outraged by Kimmel's treatment of Musk, while others claimed Musk's response was just part of his image. The whole thing seemed staged for some, as if everyone involved was playing a role. It was hard to tell where genuine emotions ended and where the performance began. At the heart of this incident was a deeper question about authenticity. In an era where everyone seems to be putting on a show, it's hard to know what's real anymore. The divide between who's being honest and who's just playing for the cameras only became clearer as the situation unfolded. Musk's influence on public discourse was undeniable. His every move, tweet, and action seemed to spark a reaction. This was just another example of how his presence in the media continues to shape conversations, for better or worse. The clash between Kimmel and Musk highlighted a growing tension between the world of traditional media and the tech elite. On one hand, Kimmel, a late-night TV host, represents classic entertainment, while Musk, a tech billionaire, stands for the new era of digital media and Silicon Valley power. This event seemed to show how these two realms often clash in the public. The public was quick to latch onto the drama. People love to watch big names fight, especially when it involves famous personalities like Kimmel and Musk. The internet erupted, with memes, debates, and opinions flooding social media. The attention was intense as the story turned into more than just an incident. It became entertainment in itself. Many viewers felt the outrage was exaggerated, with some seeing it as part of a performance. Was Kimmel really angry, or was he playing up the drama for ratings? Was Musk genuinely upset, or was he just adding fuel to the fire? This whole situation seemed like it was designed to provoke reactions, leading people to wonder what was real and what was just for show. In a world where every action feels like part of a bigger performance, it's hard to tell what's authentic anymore. The line between real emotions and staged drama blurred, leaving the audience to question whether anyone was being honest in this public feud. Musk's influence on public discourse is undeniable. Every tweet, every move he makes sparks a reaction. His power to shape conversations and stir up drama has only grown, and this incident was just another example of that. After the incident with Musk, there was a noticeable shift in how the public viewed Kimmel. Some people started to see him as a bit too aggressive, while others felt he was just defending his show. The online conversation about him quickly turned into a debate over whether he was justified or if he went too far. Many critics accused Kimmel of censorship. They argued that kicking Musk off the show was an attempt to silence someone with a different viewpoint. This led to accusations that Kimmel, in trying to be funny, might have overstepped the line and acted more out of personal frustration than comedic intent. However, Kimmel still had strong support from his fans. Many saw him as standing up for himself and his show against someone who was clearly not playing by the same rules. His followers rallied behind him, defending the incident as a reaction to Musk's behavior and not as an attack on free speech. This event might affect Kimmel's legacy. While it won't erase his long-standing success, it could be remembered as a turning point in how his humor is perceived. What was once a light-hearted comedy show could now be viewed through a more serious lens, especially when dealing with big figures like Musk. Finally, this incident seemed to blur the lines between comedy and politics. Kimmel, once known for his light humor, became a part of a larger, more complex cultural debate, shifting his image from just a comedian to a figure involved in the ongoing clash of ideologies. Musk didn't take the incident lightly. In fact, he doubled down on his usual trolling. His social media feeds were full of jokes and sarcastic remarks aimed at Kimmel, adding fuel to the fire of their feud. Musk's ability to keep the drama alive only made things more intense. Musk's fan base rallied behind him in full force. Fans of the tech mogul flooded social media with supportive hashtags like Team Elon, sharing memes and commentary about the show incident. For them, Musk was the victim, and they wanted to make sure everyone knew it. Around the same time, Musk hinted at a new platform he was working on, possibly as a response to the growing tensions with mainstream media. While details were vague, he teased that it could be something that would offer an alternative to what he saw as biased media outlets. This sparked curiosity and excitement from his followers, who saw this as a potential new frontier. Musk's PR strategy quickly shifted. He leaned into the controversy, using it to his advantage by positioning himself as an outsider fighting against the establishment. This move kept him in the public eye, helping him maintain control of the narrative. In many ways, Musk framed the incident as a win. By turning the story into another chapter of his ongoing battle with the media, he kept his supporters engaged and even gained new attention, reinforcing his image as a disruptor. Will Musk return to TV? Given how much attention the incident drew, it's hard to imagine he won't be back. He thrives on controversy, and appearing on big talk shows only fuels his brand. However, it's unclear if he'll ever sit down with Kimmel again. As for Kimmel, this event may be a turning point for his career. He'll likely capitalize on the attention the incident brought, but whether his audience will remain as loyal in the long run is something only time will tell. He may take his show in a new direction. The incident also raised questions about the public's trust in the media. With both Kimmel and Musk stirring the pot, many viewers are starting to question what's real and what's entertainment. Some believe the lines between the two are becoming too blurred, and this controversy only adds to the growing distrust in mainstream media. This may not be the last clash between Kimmel and Musk. Their personalities are just too big to avoid another confrontation. Whether it's on TV, social media, or somewhere else, both are known for their quick tempers and willingness to challenge each other. What happens next? Will Musk's defiance spark more drama, or will Kimmel turn the tables? The future of their rivalry is wide open, and who knows where it will go from here.